Dudson. We met at High Profile Club a few months ago, just starting saying thank you for taking the time finally to be in this interview. Grant Dudson is an entrepreneur, and we're going to know a bit more about his fantastic project. He is now importing electric mopeds in England, and his project has been a bit of success in very short time. So welcome, Grant.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a bit more about what is the product you sell right now, the product you want to introduce.
The product is Italy's best-selling electric moped. It is fully electric with removable batteries, so you can charge it indoors. You're never governed by petrol stations anymore. You're not even governed by charging stations. You literally take them out and you charge them in your office or you charge them at home. That's the beauty of this, complete convenience. Also, you're looking at a range of 60 miles and a top speed of 42 miles per hour. The machines are designed and made in Italy, and they're a cut above the rest.
But it's more behind this fantastic entrepreneur project. You left your employment in financial, in banking, just to be full-time in this idea. How has it been?
It was more advertising actually, but just as stressful as banking. And yes, it's very, very stressful. Being an entrepreneur, especially from the very beginning, is incredibly uncomfortable. And that's what you've got to be aware of. It's not all glitz and glamour. Obviously that's the objective and the dream, but at the beginning it's really, really difficult, very bumpy. Just as though, you know, for the moment you think, oh, I'm going to give all of this up, then something happens that actually brings you back to a state of optimism. So actually, it's a massive risk taker, but if you want to be an entrepreneur, you've just got to go for it, see what happens.
How long that was when you took that decision, and just up to now, what happened?
Pretty much 6 months ago. I'm also, I've been working on various really exciting projects. So I do big experiential stunts for big automotive brands like Ford. Also working on an incredible moon project at the moment, 50th anniversary of the moon landing. I will say as an entrepreneur, if you can, get a second hustle as well, because you're putting a lot of money into something, and for the first 6 months you might not get anything back. So it's important to bolster this financial commitment with a sideline job. That could be absolutely anything. For me, obviously, I've still got a bunch of advertising projects on the side, so that keeps me stable.
Grant, but it's in 6 months you have achieved to attract the attention of big investors, and already you said a lot of mopeds and scooters in UK.
Yeah.
So how has it been? Your team and all the effort you have put has been really paid the effort?
So one of the main investors really and my primary business partner is Luca Dudson, who was on Dragon's Den last year. He was a success story, got investment from Nick Jenkins, and we've decided to go into this pretty much together, and it's been already really, really exciting. We're in talks with Deliveroo, we're in talks with Domino's, we're in talks with the Ministry of Defence. There are many, many opportunities for electric mopeds that don't currently exist for petrol. Giant warehouses, for example, in Amazon. If you want to get around the airport, an electric moped is the perfect solution.
Grant, but it's a good moment we are living, especially here in UK, where the government is supporting a lot of initiatives to look after the environment. Also, people are more aware about the footprint. So I think it's a good moment for your idea of bringing these kind of scooters. And
yeah, me too. No, honestly, when I delved into the statistics of what's happening in London in terms of pollution, you've got over 10,000 people who die of pollution-related illnesses every single year. The average car speed is 9 miles per hour. And let's face it, most people don't like jumping on a tube in the middle of rush hour. So if you're talking to me about a really amazing mode of transport that brings down pollution levels, gets you to and from work or your home within next to no time at all, an electric moped is absolutely the best opportunity to do that. And we've got a situation at the moment where the ultra low emission zone is going to kick in next year, and we've also got the zero emission zone, which is apparently going to kick in 2025, but Sadiq Khan has just announced that he wants to start doing that in 2020. So if you haven't got your act together in the next couple of years, then you're going to be in a situation where it isn't particularly favourable for you. So jump on an electric moped and make it happen now.
Let's talk about the technicalities of the moped and the scooters. It's very light, battery operated, more details that make people excited to buy this product.
Sure, so the batteries you can take out, like I said before, and you can charge them indoors. There are two batteries. They both, depending on the model, weigh 7.5 kilograms.
Yeah.
They have handles as well that you can take out. You can even swing them around. You can even exercise with them if you wish. And the parts that come together to make this vehicle are very few compared to petrol. So the maintenance costs are next to nothing. You've got a magnetic brushless motor. You've got a toothed timing belt, so it's a pulley system. That will take you about 9,000 miles before it has to be changed. And Ascol, they are testing these vehicles every single day in their factory in Vicenza, Italy, to make sure that they're the most robust, perfect at handling machines you can have out there. They're a really, really amazing. I'm hitting potholes on purpose to try and break this thing, and I can't break it because it's such a well-made piece of engineering. It's Italian craftsmanship at its best. So from that perspective, I think that, you know, and let's face it, I want to do electric moped sharing scheme. I've tested all the electric mopeds, and this was the best. They didn't have representation in the UK, and that's why I decided to bring it.
Tell us about a bit of the price and those interested in buying and or know more about your product, when they can see it, when they can consult, when they can check the details and everything. Is any shop, exhibition center, where they can find more?
Well, basically, we are setting up a series of dealerships. They can go to ascolelectric.com. On there, we have electric mopeds. We also do electric bicycles. But navigate the site. It's a really, really amazing site, and it gives you all of the different costs on there as well. So they range from 2,100 to 3,200. That's with the 20% off. It was before a lot more than that, but we've been given a grant by the government that gets 20% off the RRP. So now the best one you can buy, instead of 4,000, comes in at £3,200.
London is a very diverse city, and there was one stigma about people who 10 years ago, or maybe more, used electric cars and mopeds. We tend to use that these people were very, very specific kind of customers, but I think nowadays everyone is more aware of their impact on the environment, and it's more popular that people are using this kind of way of transport.
Sure.
Is something that you sense in the customers you're approaching now, or is it specific kind of customers who only buy electric scooters and motors?
It's like anything, right? It's kind of like using a typewriter before computers came in. Most people just went, absolutely not going to use this thing, computer, like what is that? Eventually, if you don't use it, or if you don't jump on the trend, you will get left behind. So I'm talking to a lot of dealerships at the moment who go, no, we're not there yet in terms of electric mopeds or mobility. And actually, with a 60-mile range and 42 miles per hour, yes, we are.
You're not losing anything.
Nothing at all. And actually, electric fuel comes in at 10% of what you spend on petrol. So if you're a delivery driver doing 90 miles, you can pretty much afford to pay off that moped within 2 to 3 years.
Is there the grant support, the government support grant?
Yes.
UK-wide or just London? Because
UK-wide.
Okay, good.
UK-wide.
Because
and also,
I know the London mayor 3 months ago, he just with Transport for London, he had this initiative to put more electric charges points around the city.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting for people.
It is very interesting. The thing is, they're spending a lot of money, millions of pounds on the infrastructure change of London. I get that that needs to happen. But with a vehicle that allows you to take the batteries out and plug it into the mains, you're not governed by charging stations anymore. So you don't have to wait until the infrastructure's there. It's already here. You take it into your house and you plug it in. Charge within 3.5 hours. Off you go. So this is what people need to actually have a look at. You know, the government grant's amazing because obviously it allows it to be a lot more affordable. And you know, let's face it, at the end of the day, if you want to get from A to B as quickly as possible in the most liberating way as possible, then the Ascol electric moped is absolutely the perfect solution.
It's only 6 months with these scooters and mopeds, but is there any chance to move to cars as well?
I think that would be a natural departure from what we're up to now. I mean, the ultimate objective for us is to create one of the most formidable electric vehicle distribution companies in the world, and it starts here in London, and it starts with electric mopeds.
So very soon we will see branches in another part of the UK.
You'll see branches everywhere. By the time I've finished, and by the time we enlist all of these brand ambassadors, then absolutely you're going to see these everywhere.
What was your biggest challenge when you start this project? Money?
Money,
People to believe, support?
money is always the biggest challenge, and also convincing people who have worked with mopeds and motorcycles for all of their life that this electric moped is going to change the game. That's the most difficult thing, because you call someone up and go, hey, I've got this amazing electric moped, best-selling electric moped in Italy. They go, well, just because it's the best-selling electric moped in Italy doesn't mean it's going to work in the UK. And it's like, but actually, if you look at all of the different features and the different benefits, there's no reason it shouldn't. And I need to enlist their partnership and their support in order to make that happen. So I've turned a lot of people around, people who first went, absolutely no way, this is not for me, and then they jump on it and they go, wow, this is amazing. So you need to test drive this thing, and once you do, you'll go, mind-blowing. The future has arrived, people.
Grant, it has been a pleasure to be with one entrepreneur with this vision and this nice project.
Thank you.
Just leave us with a bit of message for those still thinking to use electric vehicles as a way of transport. The benefits in long term for them.
Well, massively long term. I mean, what you've got to do is you've got to look at your business. It's about optimizing operations to maximize your bottom line. Say, for example, you're a restaurant with a fleet. If you have a fleet of petrol and you wait too long to try and shift those, there'll be no second-hand buying market within the next 5 years for anything petrol. Reason being is because the market's going to be flooded with electric alternatives. And the cost, this is where it gets really interesting, is because with the money you save on fuel and the money you save on maintenance, as a restaurant, you can pretty much buy a brand new fleet every 2 to 3 years. If that's not attractive, I don't know what is. And corporate social responsibility. Let's face it, this is what everyone's trying to get on board with now, especially big companies. This allows you to do that. You electrify your fleet and you give everyone the impression and signal that you actually do care about the environment and you care about you as a company doing the best possible thing. And it's always about solutions, and this is that solution to any restaurant that has a petrol moped fleet. It's a no-brainer. We sell as well, very quickly, 4 batteries and 2 chargers as a bundle that we've got in the grant, so you get 20% off. And as a restaurant, you have 2 batteries in the restaurant charging up, 2 batteries in the moped. They're traveling around. When it goes down, they swap them out, job done. And you never run out of fuel.
Fantastic. Grant, thank you so much for being here with us today in Extra International. It's a great to know more about the product you are selling and the idea of people to change their lifestyle and to do a better for the environment as well in a way that could be so economic and could be the big impact in the long term for businesses and just for everyone.
Everybody's
because
life.
It will save a lot of money in transport. As you said, public transport sometimes is a nightmare, and London is a, I think, friendly user for scooters, isn't it?
Huh?
So London is a friendly user scooter city, or no necessarily?
It's not necessarily, but it will be by the time I've finished.
Good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I will say one more thing. I live in Fulham.
Yeah.
I travel to White City, where my office is. It normally takes me 45 minutes on public transport. On my electric moped, it takes me 15 minutes. That's an hour I get back every day,
Yes.
and that's 10 days I get back every year.
Plus you can see the city
See
with
the
the
city,
weather allows, so
of
even
course.
better, no?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you very soon as well.
Likewise. Thank you very much. Thank you.